G'day again. So today we're going to look at quadratic equations. Now this is going to be the first in a series of 3 videos. So the first one will be just on quadratic equations, the second one's going to be on parabolas, and the third one's going to link quadratic equations to parabolas. So let's start with quadratic equations. So what is a quadratic equation? Well, anything which looks like this, you've got ax squared plus bx plus c, well, even if it's just on its own, we'll just leave it without the equals. Anything which looks like that is a quadratic equation. So these are numbers, they can be like plus minus 3 or minus 7 or anything. As long as those are numbers or fractions, that's a quadratic equation. If you do that equals some other number, let's say it equals 0, then you're out to solve it. If you've just got it without that, you're just going to factorise it. So we're going to start off just by factorising. So we'll get rid of that. And we'll write up a few, and then we'll factorise them. So that's the first step in quadratic equations, usually when you learn them. So we're going to factorise a few quadratic equations. So let's write one up. Really simple one would be x squared plus, what have I got, 3x plus 2. So we want to factorise that. So what you do when you factorise, we'll just get rid of that. Oh, well, no, we might leave it up. You want to look at this number on its own. And what you want to do is figure out what are the factors of that. So I want to look at what am I going to multiply to give the c. So this is what I want the factors of. Now this is very important when you look at it, that you take into account whatever that sign is. Now in our case here, it's plus 2. So we want all the factors of plus 2. So how can we get plus 2? Well, pretty much 2 ways. We can say it equals 2 multiplied by 1. We can also say it equals minus 2 multiplied by minus 1. And there are no other factors we can think of that are whole numbers. So you then look at them and then you add them together. So these are the factors, and then we want to add them. Now why do we want to add them? Is we now want to look at this number, the b. We want a plus to give this value. So we want to add to here, we want to multiply to give this. So we want to add to plus 3. So we look at these and we go, which one of these adds up to plus 3? So we go 2 plus 1 is 3. Minus 2 plus minus 1 is minus 3. So which one of those equals plus 3? It's pretty easy. It's this one. So these are going to be your 2 factors. So you would then say the answer is x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 1. And so when you say factorise that, that's your answer. And this would be the way you should be doing it. Let's do another one. So we're going to go, we might rub that out. How's that? So we don't get too much stuff in the way. We'll leave it there. We'll go x squared plus 6x plus 8. Same process. What are the factors of plus 8? Well, how can we get that? We can go, well, that equals 8 multiplied by 1, minus 8 multiplied by minus 1, 2 times 4, and minus 2 times minus 4. And that's about it. Now you want to add them up. 8 plus 1 is 9, minus 8 plus minus 1 is minus 9, 2 plus 4 is 6, minus 2 plus minus 4 is minus 6. Now let's look at our middle number. What's our middle number here? Well, our middle number is plus 6. Which one of these two adds up to plus 6? These ones. So this is going to be our answer. So if we factorise it, we're going to get x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 4, and we're done. Back in a sec. G'day again, back for some more quadratic equations. So we've done one where they're both pluses, so let's just put in a minus somewhere. So let's try out x squared plus 4x minus 12. There we go, we put in a minus. Same thing. So what you're doing here, you're looking for the factors of minus 12, and make sure you're including that sign when you're looking at your factors. So we want the factors of minus 12, so let's have a go. We're going to go minus 12 times 1, 12 times minus 1, minus 4 times 3, 4 times minus 3, 6 times 2, whoops, minus 6 times 2, and 6 times minus 2. That's about it. Now what are we looking for? We want to add up to this number here, and again, make sure you include that sign when you're doing it. So adding up to plus 4. No way, no way, no, no. This looks closer. Minus 6 plus 2 is minus 4. 6 minus 2 is 4. So that's the one we want. We want 6 and minus 2, so that's our answer. So x plus 6 multiplied by x minus 2. And we factorised it. Let's do another one. And we've just dropped our duster here. Whoops. Here we go. Do another one. Same thing. So let's go x squared plus 5x minus 24. Again, we're looking for minus 24. So we want the factors of minus 24. So let's have a go. Minus 24 times 1, 24 times minus 1, 12 times, so we'll go minus 12 times 2, 12 times minus 2. So we're multiplying here. And we've got 6 times 4, or minus 6 times 4, 6 times minus 4, and we've got 3 times 8, so 8 minus 8 times 3, and 8 times minus 3. So you've got a lot of factors to choose from this time. We want it up to plus 5, so no, 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 no. 6 and 4, no, we're going to get a 2 there, we're going to 2 there. Here we go. We're looking for 5, so we've got 8 and 3, so minus 8 and 3 is minus 5, 8 and minus 3 is 5. We want it to be plus 5, so plus 5, that's our answer. We want 8 and minus 3, so we've got x plus 8 and x minus 3, and we're done. Let's do another one. So this time we put the minus somewhere else, so we might put the minus over here this time. The factors, we're multiplying to this and we're adding over here, multiplying to this first number. So what have we got? Minus 4 and plus 3. So x squared minus 4x plus 3. Now for this one, you almost don't need to do this, because you know when you look at that, there's only 2 numbers you can choose from. There's only 1 times 3, that's it. So you can almost actually go like this because of this number, because you know one of those must be a 1 and one of them must be a 3 if you can factorise this. If we do their factors, the choices are 1 multiplied by 3, both positive, or minus 1 multiplied by minus 3. There's no other choices. So you can actually just start writing this and just figure out your signs. Again, if you're used to doing it this way, it's quite easy. 1 plus 3 is 4, minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4. We're looking for minus 4. Again, careful to include that sign there. Minus 4, well, there's our answer. So minus, minus, and you're done. Let's do another one. So this time we'll go for double minuses. So I'll throw that in. Leave that there. Then we'll go minus 3 and minus 10. So minus 3, minus 10. And this time we've got a few more choices, so we'll go for the factors. So minus 10 times 1, 10 times minus 1, minus 5 times 2, and 5 times minus 2. Now you can look at those, and by now you're probably looking at them and thinking, oh, I can do this faster than you, which is great. That's what you want to be able to do, faster than I'm doing them on the board. So that plus that's minus 9, that plus that's 9, so minus 9, 9, no chance. Here we go, minus 3. Now we're looking really close, we're actually looking correct there, and that one is 3. So this is the one we want, the one for minus 3. So we've got x minus 5 and x plus 2. And pretty much they're all your choices. You can only change around those as long as you've got a single x. So once you put in a 2x, this gets a lot more complicated in that you've got more choices down here to do multiple times. So when you've got a single x, you're just looking at the factors of this one and they add up to the middle. We'll do some solutions in a second. G'day again. So this time we're going to look at solving the quadratic equations. Pretty much the same thing, you're just doing one more step. Not too hard. First of all, actually, what I'll do first of all is I'll just show you this. If I've got two numbers, let's say they're a multiplied by b and they equal 0. What must be true? Well, either that is 0, so a equals 0, or b equals 0, or they're both 0. So either that's true or that's true. So when you're looking over here, this is something you've got to remember. Either this one's 0 or this one's 0, or they're both 0. Okay? Keep that in mind. So let's look at one we've just done. So we're going to look at x squared plus 4x minus 12. This time we're going to write equals 0. So we're going to solve it. We're going to find out what the x value actually is. So we do exactly the same thing as what we've just done. We factorise it. And we get x, and we'll save ourselves time because we've just done that one recently. So we get x plus 6 and x minus 2 equals 0. So you've gone through your solution process of multiply to give that, add to give that, and you get this. Now what do? You do one more step. So this is your factorise. Is that step. And you do one more step to solve. Is this step. Now what did I just tell you? I just told you if you multiply two things together, either this one's 0 or this one's 0. We're multiplying this multiplied by this, and they equal 0. So what do you know? Either this is 0 or this is 0. What if they're both 0? Let's do that. If this is 0, x plus 6 is 0. Well, that must be minus 6. There's no other choice. Minus 6 plus 6 is 0. So to solve it, x must equal minus 6. Or, what else does x equal? Pretty easy. That must equal positive 2, because 2 take away 2 is nothing, it's 0. So that is our solution. Our solution is when these brackets equal 0. Let's do another one. Okay, let's pick one we've just done recently. So x squared, what do we get? Plus 5x minus 24 equals 0. Now we just factorised that one a few minutes ago as x minus 3, x plus 8 equals 0. Now you would have gone through the process we just did. You can rewind it and have a look. We get this. So this is our factorise. We factorise step is to get that. Now we're going to solve it. So we're going to solve by saying, what did I say? I said either that's 0 or that's 0 or they're both 0. So either this is 0 or this is 0. Pretty easy. If this is 0, what must that be? I heard you. You just said it was 3. Okay, it's got to be 3. 3 take away 3, 0. So x equals 3. Or if this is 0, what's x? It's minus 8, isn't it? Oops, put an arrow there. That must be minus 8, because minus 8 plus 8 is 0. And that's your solution. You're done. Let's do another one. So what was the last one we did? Was minus minus, so solve x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. Let's factorise it first. So we factorise it, and you can probably remember what we factorised it to. equals 0, so that's an x, that's an x. 5 and 2, because it's going to be a 3, so let's make that a 5, and then a 2, that's negative, so negative 5 plus 2. Now what do I say? This is 0 or this is 0. Okay, so if that is 0, this must be, what's the x? It's going to be 5, isn't it? So x equals 5, or if this is 0, this whole thing is 0, that must be minus 2. And you're done.